Hey there, folks. It's the E-Man here. How you guys doing? This is gonna be like kind of an update video, I guess. I guess summer's finally here. I think it's like the temperature is 88, but the sun makes it go up to 90. I think here. It's a dry heat. Not there's no humidity. I have the AC running. Well, it's always hot in this house upstairs. in this house. Well, as you know, hot air rises, so yeah, the curtain up on my doorway to try to keep the air in is actually working rather well. Discovered I have to actually have a fan too to help keep it cool. I apologize. I haven't really done any major videos. My last video I talked about Mina the Hollower. I've gotten pretty close to the end of the game. I'm at like the final place. Well, I'm in the palace. I haven't fought the Lionel guy yet. Yeah, I haven't fought like the last thing yet. There's still a little bit I gotta do. Yeah, it's quite an impressive game. I mean, it's amazing how many hours I spent playing that. Yeah, I haven't played Windrose for a while. I should get back to playing that. Well, in other words, I've seen that we're gonna get a remake of Ocarina of Time, but they didn't really show any gameplay. They just kind of showed a quick thing and then it was over. Well, I mean, we're already getting Star Fox, so yeah. So it's like there's two major things that I guess someone had predicted that they were going to do, and I guess that's it. But it's like I'm hoping Nintendo has some other games. At some point, I don't know. I've heard a lot of companies. I've heard we looked at the schedule for game releases in November, and the only release in November is Grand Theft Auto 6. So a lot of these games are kind of pushed all over the place. Yes, we finally got a release date for the new Castlevania game, and well, I'm hearing a lot of stuff that people are saying about it right now. Well, it's October 15th of this year. I guess I've heard a lot of controversy now about Rose Belmont. Yeah, no Sonia Belmont, now it's Rose Belmont. Everyone's saying, oh, it's going to be woke or whatever. It's like, I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe the artwork is a little bit off for some people. But, it's like, I believe it's going to be a good game. I don't know, people just have differences of opinion about it, I guess. Well, I was a little bit bummed that it wasn't going to be her name wasn't going to be Sonia Belmont or something. Rose Belmont. Well, of course, she's a woman, and she has to prove herself. She has to prove herself to be the next warrior Belmont. She has to prove herself as the next Belmont, essentially. And let's face it, in the time period this game takes place in, it's like the time that this game took place in. A lot of times, women had to be girl bossy. They had to be tough. They had to be tough in this time period to to make a go at it. So I don't think she's girl bossy. Her mother, Sypha, was very much like that too, wasn't she? So it's like that's not a bad thing. The only other female Belmont I think we've ever seen like wielding the whip, besides Sonia Belmont, I mean the Castlevania animated show, we saw Richter's mother was wielding the vampire killer whip, or wielding the whip. So why did no one care about? No one was round up about that. But I don't know. And I know the new God of War game. Okay, I understand why people are mad about that, but let's give it a rest here. I don't think the game's going to be woke. I think the game's going to be great. I mean, I still have my doubts or my issues about it. There's also rumors there's more Castlevania projects coming up. Oh yes, in other news about Well, I heard that Amazon canceled the supposed revival of Stargate. They were going to make a new Stargate show they've been working on for 2 years. Can you imagine working for 2 years on something and then you're told at the last minute, oh, sorry, it's canceled? It's going to come out in November around the same time Rings of Power was going to come out. There's a lot of hatred towards Amazon for Rings of Power. So yeah, so it's like I don't even this is whatever. Yeah, Amazon's just going to keep shoveling us season after season of Rings of Power with no. Yeah, I'm just really bummed about it. I really liked Stargate. I watched it. And I remember back in the day, you had to stay up pretty late on the Sci-Fi Channel to get episodes of this. Like Stargate SG-1, there was like Stargate Atlantis. Yeah, Stargate Atlantis. I think there was another show that was a little bit completely different characters that had almost no connection really to the original characters. It was just women cool to see those characters again. Well, I think Stargate Atlantis wasn't that one of the first things that I forget his name. What's his name? Oh yeah, he was the guy that played. Oh yes, Jason Momoa. Yeah, Jason Momoa was in that before I even knew who the hell he even was in a Stargate Atlantis. So I don't, and we would have seen those guys, but I guess according to Amazon, we don't deserve it. I guess, or Amazon has its own insane agenda. Why didn't they say something to these people before they spent 2 years working on it? I've heard there's petitions. You can go contact Amazon. It's like, yeah, well, the gods at Amazon have spoken. I don't think there's any way you can turn the tide. Well, it would be nice maybe if there's a Kickstarter thing and they just put this series on something else. Well, see, that the problem with that though is that Amazon owns MGM, so, and I think Stargate is an MGM brand. Oh yeah, I noticed that with the Masters of the Universe movie, the new Masters of the Universe movie. Well, I seen parts of showing the ending credits. Something about Amazon. I was like, oh yeah, MGM is owned by Amazon. So yeah, so the Amazon owns the property, so I don't think they could release the show on their own. But whatever. I've heard the He-Man the new movie is not really bad. I've watched clips of the 87 He-Man movie, and I might go watch the new one, and then I'll compare the new one to the older one. Yeah, I always feel like the older one back in 87, I think Skeletor was way too evil. It wasn't bad. I mean, the actor playing him was really great, but the biggest issue is, especially watching the movie in HD, is yes, that Skeletor in the older movie, of course, they didn't have the CGI that they have. So his face was he had a rubber mask on his face. Which, yeah, I mean, it's not like the only problem with that movie. Well, then there's that girl, Julie, and her boyfriend, and it's just kind of dumb. Yeah, I think I found out that the girl, Julie's boyfriend in this movie, he's actually the actor that plays Tom Paris on Star Trek Voyager. So, yeah, I could see that. Yeah, a lot of. Well, I remember also I've seen Chakotay from Voyager. I believe it's him. I think he was on Night of the Living Comet or something. Yeah, it's like these actors of Star Trek that came from some weird movies or something. But I think a lot of it is really cool. I think a lot of the old one is cool. I mean, there's a lot of spiffy things about it, but yeah, I know a lot of YouTubers have already talked about it. Yeah, the idea is in the 87 movie, he's always He-Man. He's never Prince Adam. We don't have Battle Cat's not there. And something that seems to be an issue with these live action things is Where's Orko? No Orko. In the '87 movie, they made what is it? They made some weird midget dude that was there to replace Orko. But in this movie, the new movie, I don't think Orko shows up in it. Or maybe he does. I haven't seen the movie yet, but I have a feeling that he's not in the movie, and why not? Everything's perfect except for that. So yeah, I'm bummed about the Stargate thing, but what can you do? You know, these big companies, they own the rights to the stuff. Not much we can do about it. Oh yes, yeah. Let me talk about the games I'm mostly playing now. Playing some Blasphemous 2. I guess it was a new DLC that was added, the Third Sin. You get to go to this this cursed castle, which the castle does really remind me of Castlevania a little bit, especially at the beginning hallway. You know, there's all those red drapes coming down. There's these enemies that look like enemies from Castlevania coming at you. And plus there's candles with blue light in the hallways. There's all these candles and stuff. Plus you can get a weapon that's pretty much like a whip. It's like this chain thing that you have. You get this chain thing where you can grab, you can grapple points and shoot up. And it makes this like loud, this loud noise. So it's not really a whip, but it's kind of like a chain, a spiked chain that you just take enemies out with. I think I've gotten to the first boss of the DLC. Oh, boy, is that a tough boss. Well, see, the boss has this jewel thing in the middle, and you have to whack at that. Meanwhile, it can, it's like a nun, and it can, like, pray, and then also this, like, purple circle comes out, and you have to, like, get away from it. Enemies coming at you, its hands shoot fireballs, shoot lasers. It's like that charred vigilance creature you had to fight in the first game. Yeah, unlike the first game, the DLC for this game is rather easy to get to. Because I remember, I think on the original game, with the DLC, you had to actually like do a New Game Plus or something. Yeah, if you missed something, you'd have to go through the whole game to get to the DLC. Yeah, I remember on Lies of P, where you had to, originally in Lies of P, you had to play through a good portion of the game before you could even get to the DLC, but then they changed it. Yeah, I love how Blasphemous 2's graphics I forgot how good they are, the graphics are. Well, maybe some of the updates or whatever, but I had technically beaten the game. I think you can't save after beating the last boss, so there's still a portion I gotta do. But yeah, I was able to find the DLC place pretty easily. There's a whole new area. You're going through all these weird guys with cannons. This kind of like creature that's like summoning these women with weird blue cloaks that like attack you, and you take them out, but they keep respawning. You have to go destroy it. Then there's these weird women that like summon these spikes. These spikes come out of the floor and you gotta dodge them. And all kinds of crazy, new crazy enemies and stuff. I mean, the animations are great in this game. I mean, I wonder if we're gonna get a Blasphemous 3. It's cool that the DLC is free. I think Marna Karpa you had to pay for, but then they took that away, I guess. I don't know, I have to look at it. I hadn't done the Marna Karpa part of it. Like, you can go and get the original sword from the original game in Blasphemous 2. You get the update. Yeah, so Mina the Hollower, like I said, I'm kind of like... Yeah, it's probably only like 2 or 3, maybe 3 hours left of that game, and I'll have that game done. I guess there really isn't any other game I've really been trying to play. Well, I have my older computer. I have that set up downstairs at my house, so I still want to use my older computer. It would be convenient if I could play some of my stuff down there instead of up here. Like, if it gets really, really hot, later on, I may have to be downstairs. May have to be downstairs when it's too hot up here. But, yeah, it's a little crammed up here too. But yep, yeah, my older computer is still working great. I had gotten this newer computer that I'm on right now because it has a much better processor, and I knew that the prices were going to start going up on stuff. I mean, this computer I have here is medium grade graphics card, so it's not bad. It's a pretty decent one. Said I've got a bunch of fans in it and LED lights. It's kind of cool. It puts out a little more heat, especially if I'm playing like a game like Windrose or a game that requires higher graphics. It kind of pumps out the heat. Well, and I also discovered that this computer I'm using also is using AMD. It's not using Intel, so yeah, so I've had issues with some things not running, especially TechnoParrot, that emulator program. I can't play Terminator Salvation on my newest computer. Yeah, my old computer can play Terminator Salvation on TechnoParrot. If I have no virus protection on it, it loads up and plays. I don't know why it doesn't on this computer. So I kind of want this to be my major computer. Of course, this computer has an SSD drive. My older computer still has the old school, yeah, the old school hard drive. I had put another drive on my older computers, and my older computer has a bunch of storage on it. So I was like, I might as well use one computer for one thing. Of course, I'm seeing all those recomps of N64 games, and like divide up the use of the computer and whatnot. Yeah, so I have many different avenues. Oh yes, and plus my computer did do a major update for Windows 11, and thankfully nothing has gone haywire. A lot of times a lot of my stuff just goes bonkers on this computer when I upgrade it, but when I update it, and thankfully no major issues have happened. My video card doesn't really do any major updates. Yeah, like NVIDIA, like they keep getting all these game-ready drivers and whatnot, and yeah. Well, I guess AMD is a different kind of architecture than Intel, and sometimes it's a little bit harder to work things with an AMD processor. Yeah, my computer is right now running on like the newest and greatest AMD processor, so I think is it the AMD 7 or something? I got it from Vipertech, which a lot of people have called out Vipertech for certain scams, but this computer is pretty good. It happened to be what I wanted. Yeah, my older computer is good, but its processor is a little old. Yeah, it's like an i5, so that processor is a little bit antiquated now. Yeah, I think I have a 3050 NVIDIA GTX. Well, plus OBS works on my older computer because it has the full NVIDIA and NVIDIA compatible and all that stuff. Yeah, well, I'd seen a lot of games. I know that we're going to get the Final Fantasy VII Remake. We're going to get the final part of it. I think they said spring of 2027. So a lot of games not until 2027. Yeah, but the Castlevania game is one of the major games I'm looking for. So I'd like to know what your guys' opinion is. Are you guys still psyched about the new Castlevania game? Was it Castlevania Belmont's Curse? Rose Belmont? I hope people aren't too bummed about it. Yeah, just know what your guys' opinion is on that. Well, your guys' opinion on anything. Like, I know if any of you have seen the new movie. Is it really good? Should I go see it or not? Well, the way things are now, a lot of times you just wait a few months. Yeah, I'll probably wait 2 months and be able to watch the movie on streaming or some other place. Oh yes, I have canceled my Netflix and my Hulu. I discovered when you cancel Hulu, you also cancel your Disney Plus, which is okay. Yeah, I don't really use those streaming services, and I gotta cut back on some of these streaming services. Yeah, I think canceling both of those, I've saved like I'm gonna save like $40, an extra $40 a month, which is great. Yeah, which is great. You know. Yep, just I'll be happy to hear anyone's opinions or comments about any of the new games that are coming out or whatnot. There may have been some games I didn't really see yet. Yeah, I think the Nintendo Direct was not what some people were expecting, but it's Nintendo. I already heard people talking about the Switch 2 is going to go up like $200 in September, which will make it be $700. The Steam machine, rumors that that's going to be like $1,000. I heard the new Steam Deck is $1,000 or something. Yeah, I mean all the consoles are going up in price. I don't understand how that's going to work. But anyway, I hope to see you guys. Well, I'll see you guys later. Oh yes, I noticed that I am at 99 subscribers. I want to say thank you to those extra subscribers. I really do like seeing 99 subscribers. That's good. Yeah, it's definitely I definitely like to see my channel kind of growing a little bit. I am going to I need to start putting out some more material. I know, but yeah, I just got to put out some more material. Yeah, I think on the weekend, Friday night, I stayed up too late, and then it screwed up my whole sleep cycle, and then all weekend I just didn't really feel like streaming or anything. Plus, it was also rainy and nasty out, so it wasn't particularly. Yeah, I was kind of particularly bummed on the weekend. Yeah, I didn't really do much on the weekend. I just kind of lazed about the house. But then come Monday, it's like, well, I gotta go back to work. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a good summer, and hopefully you guys are able to go out and do some stuff or get some grilling going. I'm probably gonna get something at the grocery store on my way home from work tomorrow, and probably try to grill something. Because it's kind of hot to be cooking anything in the house. And I will admit, I'm not I'm not really good at cooking stuff. Yeah, I can make macaroni and cheese, but I don't really make things much more sophisticated than that. But yeah, I mean, I don't have hundreds of dollars to order food from DoorDash like everyone else does, but no. Yeah, plus you see, if I order DoorDash, I'm like 20 minutes away from most of the chain restaurants here, because I live like 20 minutes away from 20 minutes away from Bangor, so that's like, so if I get DoorDash, I probably have to pay $30, and the food's probably going to be completely freezing cold by the time it gets here. Yeah, every time he orders them from DoorDash, I mean, the food's probably going to be sitting somewhere for a certain period of time, and it's probably not going to be the highest of quality. Yeah. Yeah, so I don't really have the option of doing DoorDash. Call some place and go pick it up on my way home from work or something. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. I hope you guys have a great summer, and hopefully you guys are busy doing stuff that's a lot more fun than just playing games, because I really need to be doing a lot more, I think, than I am. Alright, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.